It is okay to miss people who once were a major part of your life. It is okay to reminisce on the memories that were lost. It is okay to at times wish things had worked out differently. This is all part of the healing process. Just give yourself grace as you navigate these feelings. It's completely normal. Welcome back to the Soul Healing Podcast, where we discuss techniques and practices to heal emotionally, connect with our inner guidance, and become the best versions of ourselves. I am Sawadi. Welcome. When we end a relationship with a person who once was important to us, it doesn't matter if it was a friendship, if it was a familiar relationship, if it was a romantic partner, there will be pain. There will be a season of grief. It's just part of the process. There will be times where you're so grateful to have them out of your life, and then there will be times where you wish things could have worked out differently. You wish things could have been better. You wish you could have been able to come to an understanding. During these times, I would encourage you to go and write down all the reasons why you ended this relationship with this person. If you've already done this in the past, maybe when you're going through like your pros and cons of the relationship before you decided to end it, go and reread that letter or that list and go over that list so that you can reaffirm to yourself why you made the decision that you made. This is so important because we all, when we decide to cut off toxic people, because they weren't important to us, because we emotionally invested in them, we will feel at times that we should have brought them back. We'll think, maybe I was too rash. Maybe I rushed into that decision. And if you were patient and you took your time into making that decision, I would definitely encourage you to go over the list of why you ended the relationship and ask yourself, are those reasons still valid today? If they are, know that you made the best decision for you. And right now what you're experiencing is just grief. The loss of the relationship, which truly is painful. It is painful. Even if someone was so toxic, there's a part of you that wants to get rid of them completely, but there is a part of you that still loves and cares about that person. It is normal to still feel emotionally attached because emotional attachments are not like on and off switches. You don't just decide, this person's bad for me, off switch. There are some people who are really disconnected from their emotions, so they can do that to a certain extent, but most of us are unable to do that. And because of that, just know that this is part of the grieving process. Give yourself grace during these times, be patient with yourself during these times, but also do not allow yourself to wallow. You can give yourself a time. Like for me, I'll even have a timer. Well, I'll have like 10 to 15 minutes in the past, and I'll let myself feel all those emotions, feel all the sadness, feel all the hurt, feel all the anger. And after I allow those emotions to flow through me, I would either journal, or I'd be like, okay, I've given myself 15 minutes to get all of these emotions out. Now I'm going to stop here and go and do what I need to do. And the more you do that, the more we're training our body to say, hey, don't hold this inside. But I'm going to give my body a specific time and space to release these pent-up emotions so that they don't come out at inconvenient times. This is where we see people with emotional outbursts. They stuff their emotions, and then something will happen, they'll have a trigger, and they'll just like explode on everybody. And everyone's like, oh, what's going on? So that is why it's important to give ourselves an emotional outlet, but also keep it structured, because we don't want those emotions to be all over the place constantly, and then we no longer are in control of our lives, but our emotions are controlling us. Yes, our emotions are important. Yes, our emotions are indicators of what's going on internally, but that does not mean we should allow our emotions to rule us completely. If we do this, we'll be completely irrational. We'll be like someone who's just like a ticking time bomb. Nobody knows how to act around them because you never know when they're going to explode. And it's just really unsafe for ourselves and for those around us. This is why I reiterate, have a list of why you ended a relationship. Have a space, a safe space, a practice space of where you can release those emotions. Give yourself some time to do that, but also make sure your body knows, train yourself to know, I'm going to release this in this time and space, but then I'm going to have to be logical and remove myself emotionally out of that state and get into a state where I can do what I need to do, where I can function. And this is so important because a lot of times I see people in the self-development community talking about release your emotions, let them flow freely, and that is important. We do need to do that, but we need to also have structured, because if you're in a job and you're just letting it rip every time somebody offends you, you're probably going to lose your job. If you have children and you're just letting it rip every time they stress you out, or life is just lifing and you are out of control, that is a very scary environment for them to be in. And also, you can't trust yourself because you have no idea who you are and you have no idea how you're going to react. That is a reactive state. So when we create a controlled environment to release our emotions, we are training ourselves to become more responsive. And responsive state is, hey, if I'm going to lose it on someone, I have made this decision, I have thought about it, I am calm. And when I give somebody a piece of my mind, it's not just something on the spur of the moment. I have thought this through, I am ready for the consequences, and this is a thought through decision. This is not something like they made me mad, I'm triggered, and now I'm just reacting type thing. So I thank you for making it to the end of this episode. I really appreciate discussing my thoughts with you, and I hope this episode was helpful. I'm a little bit all over the place because today I'm kind of free flowing, but thank you again for being here. And if you would like a video that is in alignment with today's topic, please click the one you see on the screen above. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.